This is Black Country Blokes chewing the fat.
Listen.
I've been hearing a lot lately about men don't talk, but in my experience, men do talk, just people aren't listening. So it's going to be me and a group of blokes discussing our struggles and victories through life. Warning, there may be some bad language, so apologies to all the moms, especially my own. Let's get going.
Listen.
Abin, yeah. This is the Black Country Blokes chewing the fat about everything that is men's mental health, disability, and life in general. Here with me, Kev Dillon, and my partner in crime, Lee Cadman. And today we're talking about brain fog, mind fog, whatever you want to call it. We haven't got the foggiest idea, have we? But it's something I suffer with a lot, brain fog, through my fibromyalgia. And I've heard a lot of people like, okay, when she had COVID, it gives you this sense of not knowing where you're at. It's like being half cut. The best way I could describe it is having like your mind's racing at 100 miles an hour, but you can't focus on a single thought. And I was laughing with Lee earlier, and it's like, you know that thing, and you know the word, door. Let's say door. You know the word for it, but you can't get your brain and your mouth to work together. And it's horrible. It's so frustrating, and more people I hear of having it, it's become very common. Have you ever had it, Lee?
I'll get it all the time. The worst I get it is when I've got so much to do,
Mm.
and that sounds mad because you should be clearer of mind because you've got so much to do and you want to get it done. But I'll get it terrible when I've got loads to do, and it almost shuts me down to the point that because I can't organise what's going on in my head, but I'm trying to rush around doing everything, and it almost shuts me and stops me.
It's almost like the bucket's too full.
Yeah.
And then you just pour it in, it's got to overlap.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel a lot like how I felt this week. I haven't been up the club all last week. It's my first day back today. You can hear my voice, I'm still poorly. But it feels like, I don't know, if it's a byproduct of the fibromyalgia, if it's a byproduct of COVID-19, if it's just we're absolutely at the moment overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's through just the modern day world of 2022 with so much knowledge going in. If it's we're trying to do too much, but like today, like you don't allow yourself to have time off when you're poorly because you've got to get it done. But in the modern day world, you don't even have time to have breakfast, to have lunch, to have rest, to have a hobby. You always seem to be on the go, don't you? And I feel like our minds, we've evolved so much, but our minds haven't.
Yeah. It's as I say, I'll get it when I'm really busy, and I've learnt now to actually when my head is like that, because it's different between me and you, as in terms of you feel because if you don't feel very well is why you're getting it, whereas mine is I'm just trying to be too much, trying to be too busy. So I stop and go, right, what is actually important?
Yeah.
What do I actually need to stop and get done? And then I'll remain focused on that task. Just think about one. And I know it's different. As I say, yours is, I'm just going to say it's an illness. It's not an illness. It's because of an illness.
Yeah.
Or it's because you're not feeling right. Whatever it is. And that's different then, because mine's trying to organise thoughts of things to do. Yours is trying to organise your thoughts to be able to recognise that that's a door.
Yeah. I watched what you were saying. I watched a lovely program on YouTube. I've shared it a few times, and it's about this lecturer, and he's there talking to people, and he's got a jar, and he says, "Put some golf balls in," and he goes, "Well, can I fit anything else in?" And everyone goes, "No, no, no." And he goes, "Oh, well, actually," and he pours some gravel in. And he goes, "Well, can I fit anything else?" And he goes, "No, no, no." Then he pours some sand in. He goes, "Well, can I fit anything else in?" Then he pours some milk in, and he goes, "But you've got to put the things in the pot in the right order."
Yeah.
If you put sand in, then you can't fit the gravel in, and then you can't fit the golf balls in. And he says the golf balls are your priorities, your health, your family, the important things in life. The gravel are the bits and bobs, your car, the fairly important, but not the most. The sand is just life.
Yeah.
Everyone around and the nitty gritty and picking up the paper and getting the shopping in. And the milk is just the BS of it all, really.
Yeah.
But it's knowing what,
information overload.
the information overload, but putting the right things, the priority.
Yeah.
And often, as I say, your health, which do as I say, know what I do. You always say put your health and your family first, but often in the real world, you don't.
Mm.
And you focus too much on the car insurance, your phone bills, all the other stuff that doesn't really matter, but we become consumed with thoughts that aren't important.
Yeah, that's right. But one of the advantages of having a daughter with disabilities, a lot of that for me does go away. Don't get me wrong, sometimes that noise, that day-to-day things that are happening in your life, car insurance, this and that,
Yeah.
sometimes it will still get on top of me, but the vast majority of the time it's not actually that important. I can actually organise that out of it. But what overtakes that is looking after a child with disability. So your hospital appointments, your this, your that kind of takes that place of just the mundane. That takes the place of actually I've got to be here, we've got to be there, I've got to go and pick her up. Oh, is she all right? Is a medication working? Is she, the million and one? Is she going to go to school today? Is she not going to go to school today?
But that's genuine concerns, and that's
All I'm saying is it takes away
of course.
the minus side of it.
Do you feel that like when you got so much on your plate with stuff like that, and then like you knew, and like as we know at the moment, like with fuel prices, electricity prices, which are genuine concerns as well.
Yeah.
But we can't do anything about those. That's just a kick in the gonads. We're just gonna have to deal with that, but we've still got the right to worry about it because. Am I making sense? Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely something that concerns me because ultimately, again, you look at the equipment that we have to use on behalf of town. We need electric. There's no doubt about it. And it's a concern that the price rises. It's certainly going to affect. It's going to affect the vast majority of people, whether you've got no money at all, or whether you're middle class and got loads of money. You're not loads. Of money, whether you got comfortable at the moment.
Yeah.
The price rises that we're going to see is going to stop those people being comfortable taking that holiday or it is
having a takeaway.
It is, yeah.
Buying clothes.
It's going to have that effect, and but it's going to affect us all, and that won't go as far as worries me because I kind of had the attitude, well, it is what it is, and I can sit and get worried about it, or I can do it is what it is. There's nothing we can do. They're going up. We've somehow just got to manage our way through it. And I also had the kind of attitude, well, if you haven't got the money, what they're going to ask for? What do you want? Come and take my blood.
But like you've got your concerns, which is the real ones, your golf balls, once again, your health, her health, your family's health, the well-being, the love, the enjoyment. But then we've got the stresses of eat or heat, this thing that people are saying. But then we just, it seems to be all this overwhelming doom and gloom. And whether you're a positive person, an optimist, it does take its toll on you, doesn't it?
I think you don't value your health and the health of your family until they're unhealthy or something's going on either. And I don't mean just a cold. I mean, I don't know, get diagnosed with cancer or something. Then you see the value there, don't you? Know what I mean? Yeah. It's not an everyday worry if nothing's wrong.
Well, you don't appreciate good health until it's taken away from you, do you?
Exactly.
And when you just, I've always been a poorly person, but people, and you can, I feel well.
Yeah.
I haven't got aches and pains. And people with arthritis and fibromyalgia and just, whatever. When you have them good days, that glimmer or Crohn's disease and these other things, these glimmers of, I feel well. You wake up and then the aches, the pains, the mind fog isn't there. Is great.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how quickly you get used to it, and then bump, you're poorly again, and you forget how great it was to feel well.
I mean, I struggle to relate to it because I don't go through what you do with that. Like, I've been ill, as in I've had colds, I've had flu, but I've never really been ill with anything that's took me off my feet for more than a week. That kind of thing. Very, very lucky for that as well. So it's hard for me, But
You see it with Cal, don't you?
I do see it, but again, I don't go through it, and I think there's always the difference between living through it and watching it. As much as being with Cal has a different impact, I don't actually go through what she goes through. We're part of it and we're around it, and it's not nice sometimes. But for it not being nice for me, it must be how much harder for her.
On the flip side, though, I think that sometimes, but I think sometimes it's worse when it is a loved one than yourself. Because when it's yourself, you're biting your gum shield and you have a man, but you get through. But when it's someone you love and there's nothing you can do,
there is a very
make it
helpless feeling sometimes.
That's when it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is very much. It's very hard. It's very hard to. I've probably said it on here a million times, but there's times where she's been rushed into hospital and they've been putting it into a coma, and I'm in the room with her. My wife, she has to dart in and out. She can't. I can't say the atmosphere is the wrong way of explaining, but you know what I'm saying. She can't just stand in there and be with. Whereas I'm the opposite. I don't like to leave her.
Yeah.
But I'm very much in the way as well. I very much feel like, because these doctors, nurses are flying round trying to get her stable, running around, and I'm there holding her hand, and every 2 seconds I'm apologising to them because I'm in the way, and I just, and it is very hard in that, because you are totally helpless. The only thing you can do is be there. That's the only thing, and hope that she can hear and listening to what you're saying to her while you're there. But there's nothing worse than for me than being that helpless when someone you love is in that much trouble.
Even though when your partner's having a child, my wife had a cesarean, a C-section, and as you say, it's like, what use am I? You know what I mean? Do you want a tissue? Do you want? I can sit over in the corner and not sing to you. But you're thinking, but you want
that.
You're making a bad situation worse.
Just be quiet.
But it's that helplessness that's the hard thing. You're thinking, and every parent had it's like, if I could give my eyes, if I could give my genitalia, if I could give my soul to help them, we all would.
Yeah.
But it's that helplessness. So as I say, like, I've seen it with my parents, my brother and my partner. When it's you in the fight, you're in it.
Yeah.
And you will survive at the best means. But it's the helplessness of not being able to do anything.
Yeah, but it's also, on the subject of brain fog, it's very much when I lose that brain fog as well then. Because I only have one thing to concentrate on.
Yeah.
All the noise, there's nothing more important at that point. So all the noise, the chatter, my own mental health issues, they go pretty instantly.
But we've said this before, haven't we? And we've said this on our support group that we used to do. And we're saying that mental health doesn't vanish. It's just put on the back burner because as soon as the crisis is over, it comes back with a vengeance, doesn't it?
It didn't come back as soon as it's over. It's usually last time it was about a year and a half down the road that it kind of came back. But I wasn't as open as I am now, so it might have just been that it was bottling up more then. But yeah, it definitely caught up with me. It definitely 100% caught up with me. And I had to seek help.
But how many people out there will identify with that? Is, once again, it's all right, I'll sort it out. And once everything's all right, i.e. with a death normally, once you've done all the arrangement, the funeral happens, 2 weeks later, boss, you fall apart because I've done everything I can. The fog's cleared now, and then you crumble, you fall apart.
Yeah, I think a lot of people relate to that, don't they? A lot of people who've been to anything like say bereavement, an illness, family illness, even to the point of things like debt. Eventually, there's a lot of people who bury their head in the sand to a certain point, and then all of a sudden it just catches up, and you've got to do something then, haven't you?
And I think it, on a male point of view, or the matriarch, let's call it the head of the family, whatever it is, whether the woman, the male, whoever, you're strong for everyone. And then when it's over, you go to a quiet room and you just fall apart.
Yeah.
And I think that is so common, talking to people, you know what I mean? And that's what we do. We are strong at the time, make sure everyone, all our ducks are in order, and then bosh.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's the right way of doing
No,
it.
no. But it's a common way of doing
definitely a common way of doing it, and I can attest to that myself doing that. But it's
Doesn't make it right.
And it doesn't make it wrong,
Wrong
either. I
either,
think
yeah.
it is just, but I think those moments should be talked about more.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you've got to be, because I still get that now. I get this very much now that I feel like, okay, everything, I've got to be strong around my family, and if anything's going on, I've got to be the man at the house and hold it together until such a time that I can get out there and go into that room. But I think that room needs to be shared more, maybe talked about more. Do it with someone else within that room, and don't just unload it on your own either.
Well, how many times people will go like, I've got to be strong for our Kate, and then she's saying, I've got to be strong for our Kev, and I've got to be strong for mum, and I've got to be strong for dad, and really what you need to all do is just sit down and go, all right then, cards on the table, I'm sad, you're sad, I'm stressed, you're stressed. Let's all just
let's just recognise that.
You know me, let's all have a cry, let's all have a shout.
And you know what, we all am strong, because we're all sitting here going through it, we're all strong, we're all going to get through it. So,
but 9 times 10, you don't want to do it just
it doesn't make you any stronger, does it?
No.
So it's weird, isn't it? It's weird how we behave in life. It's just weird.
But hopefully, because we're starting to see the triggers, because we're starting to see the pattern, hopefully we're starting to see the answer to changing it. So in the boxing world, in everything, just because we've done something forever doesn't mean we've got to do it forever.
Forever, yeah.
Start seeing what has happened and what can happen, and seeing how we can make the changes better.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely got to happen, hasn't it? And that's it's definitely got to be talked about now to help the future and help them understand the future, or our future, our kids' future.
Not just our kids' futures, our futures.
Oh, yes.
The rest of our days. Let's make the rest of our days better than they have been.
Yeah, definitely. You've definitely got to try your best to do that, haven't you?
Yeah. Let's make these taboo subjects not so taboo.
Yeah. I think there's going to be, if we don't talk about it now, there's definitely going to be a big boom in the future as well.
Yeah.
So, it's fine to talk. It's fine to go into a room on your own and cry as well. It's fine to cry in front of people. It's fine to be that person, isn't it? Whichever way you feel comfortable at the moment.
Yeah. I think I'll do us today, pal, because my mind fog has been absolutely fogging awful. But we're Bob Dylan, my dad, is now retired from GB after a wonderful long career, working with some of the best boxers worldwide, never mind British. And he's going to be coming onto our radio show on Black Country Extra this Thursday to discuss a wonderful, wonderful career. We've had Bob on our podcast on the radio, but he's going to come on here telling about his journey. So join us UK time, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Black Country Extra. If you miss it, then you can get it on our podcast as always.
And you can find that on the Black Country Radio app.
Yep. And I'm going to leave you with a quote that I pinned from someone, and it's, we suffer alone, but we get better together. So until we see each other next time, guys, I want you all to take care of yourselves and each other. Ta-ra a bit.
Listen.
And that's a wrap for another show. But if there are any comments or messages that you would like us to read out for our next podcast, please be in touch. There are also lots of different organisations at the bottom of this page, and hopefully they can help you or someone you care about. Please share this to spread the word. Until we talk next time, ta-ra a bit.
Listen.